I'm already making waves with how I'm playing this season, and it's showing with this magazine cover. Dime have actually hooked us up, and check it out. It actually doesn't look that bad. The game, the player, the life. And that is a decent cover, but what I really want to focus on is this trade. A first round draft pick in Kerr Thomas for Luna's Chiesa, and the Raptors' first round draft pick as well. So it looks like the front office are already making some changes as they get ready for new ownership next season. However, the final game of the 2011 year away to the Houston Rockets, and the biggest thing is that they don't have Yao Ming anymore. Yao Ming is finished, he's retired, so that takes away a problem. But this team is still a very difficult team, as you'll see in this game. And speaking of this game, look at Greg Oden showing off his post moves, looking like Akeem Olajuwon in the post. This game is pretty much a tale of two sides. As far as our defense, we've definitely improved our defense with this trade, but also as well, this game was kind of too close. Look at LaMarcus Aldridge schooling Luis Scola in the post, and ultimately I wanted to have a great final performance of this 2011 year, because you always want to end the year kind of well. And as you can see, look at Nicholas Batum there going to the line, and he's going to make his first one, and eventually he's going to make both. But you always want to end the year better than what you started it, and we didn't have a good start to the 2011 year, but ultimately with the wins over Boston and making it to the finals and stuff, beating LA in the playoffs, we've had a great season, we've had a great year so far, and if we can end 2011 the same way that we ended the 2010-11 season last season, then hopefully we can be in a good position for 2012. As you can see, look at Brandon Roy with a hot step, layup all the way towards the basket. Kyle Lowry had a decent game. He had 10 points, 4 for 5. Slight fake out pick and roll past a wide open Brandon Roy as we end the first quarter. And as you can see, I'm just trying to dance. Got LaMarcus Aldridge there. They're going to try and double team me. Pass to Brandon Roy, but he's too far out. 4 of 3. And the Rockets are actually leading this game by 1 point. And eventually, as we cut to the second quarter, they're up by 4. But clearly, we've still got some work to do. And clearly, the board, the general manager, he felt like there had to be a trade to get Chiesa in for Kerr Thomas as well. I don't know about the first round draft picks though. I don't know how important they're going to be as far as the draft next year. But as you can see, look at that defensive steal right there. I was all over Kyle Lowry there. He had nowhere to go. And that's a simple fast break dunk. And yeah, you'll see in multiple instances. And as you can see, another one right there where our defense is getting significantly better to the point where we're like where we were last season. There's the Western Conference there. Houston are the 2nd seed and we are the 7th seed. So I wouldn't say it's representative because it's so close in the West early on in the season. However, another steal leads to another dunk. No one can catch me. Shane Battier tried to catch me. But yeah, speaking of Shane Battier, he really comes alive in the second quarter of this game. Brandon Roy looking for another pick and roll there with LaMarcus Aldridge, but LaMarcus Aldridge didn't run. However, he does run to the edge of the paint for a jump shot. Last 5 minutes of the second quarter, I'm just waiting for Aldridge to get once again in the paint, and with a fadeaway, gets the roll and it goes in, and we are leading again by 4 points. However, I want to talk about next season. Now, it's no secret that rookies are offered a 2-year +1 deal, which means that you play for the 2 years and then the team have the option for a 3rd year if they want to resign. I haven't heard any news yet on if the team want to re-sign for the 2012-13 season or what they want to do. But I don't want to be thinking ahead as far as what if certain things happen. Of course, the draft is coming up as well, so maybe they try and get a couple of other players in the draft, but I don't see why we need to rebuild in the draft or even try and get, a player in the draft. As you can see, 43 seconds left of the second. Nicholas Batum slightly gets double teamed there. And he's being guarded by Kevin Martin right there. Give him a crossover there. He goes all the way to the basket, goes through the defense. And the lead is now 7, which was now 5 as we now enter the final 12 seconds of the second quarter. However, I just got carried away there with the steal, but Rudy Fernandez has my back with that block. And we're going to end this second quarter there. They don't know what to do. Another defensive possession gets in towards a fast break opportunity, and nothing is done there. So we end the second quarter up by 5.
Thanks so much for joining us this New Year's Eve. And before we launch into a little old lang syne, let's get to the HP halftime report. The Trailblazers have been rolling along. They're sitting in that last seed for the playoffs and could use a win to help them stay on the bubble. A great performance by Nicholas Batum. He's got 17 points and it's been bombs away from outside. The Rockets have been plugging away. They're doing well inside, big bodies, big points in the paint advantage. Some terrific basketball from Kyle Lowry. He's got 15 points and has been no slouch defensively, showing he's a two-way player. Some fantastic numbers to enjoy here. What a first half for tonight's leading scorers. And now a look in on other games from the NBA as we trying to land.
Nicholas Batum is becoming probably our second option. As you can see, Chiesa from downtown, he gets his first point on the new team. But he's more helpful on the defensive end because we lost Marcus Camby. And Camby played a massive role as far as our inside, interior defense. And clearly we've lost that this season. We've clearly lost that threat on the inside. I was a little bit late there with the pick and roll to Brandon Roy, but as you can see right now, step back, jump shot, fade away for a 2, which brings the lead back to within 5. They call timeout there. Brandon Roy's getting double teamed, but I'm wide open once again. I don't know why I was going to the paint there. Wouldn't it make more sense just to stay there and maybe try and get a free? But as you can see, Brandon Roy, a little bit crowded in the paint there. We lose possession of the ball. Aldridge comes in. Brandon Roy takes a shot right there. Contested as you like, but he makes the basket, and now we're up by 9. As we enter the final 5 minutes right there. Aldridge going to work on Louis Scola as well. In the post once again. You can't stop LaMarcus Aldridge in the post. And this is just decent selfish basketball right there. Blocking foul and 1. And we're maintaining the lead once again, as you can see. But the Rockets, and as you can see, look at this mismatch right now. This mismatch is clearly a mismatch there. Kyle Lowry on LaMarcus Aldridge. What are you doing, Kyle? Rudy Fernandez goes all the way for a foul and 1. Another personal foul. And that was pretty much the aim of the second half, to try and get a couple of the players on the Rockets in towards foul trouble. And as you can see, Fernandez gets that and 1 possession right there. So we are maintaining the gap. It's not really extending here. It's really, either 8 or 5. Aldridge misses that fadeaway there, but we do get the rebound for the final 10 seconds of the second. And Batum there. However, he doesn't realize that Fernandez was wide open there. I don't know what was going on there. And clearly that cost him as he gets blocked. So as you can see, Shane Battier is having a tremendous game so far. He has 23 points and he's going to lead the Rockets back into this game. However, the step back fadeaway is unstoppable. You can't do anything about it. And as you can see, Kevin Martin on Brandon Roy. Simple pick and roll there. However, Nocioni wide open for a 3. And yeah, there were a couple of times in this quarter where Nocioni was wide open there. Andre Miller, as you can see, but Brandon Roy knocks down the shot. 16 points, 6 for 16. So realistically, we didn't really shoot well. Brandon Roy drives all the way up into the basket. And again, the lead is now back up 2-6 with just under 4 minutes to go. This time, Brandon Roy's going to drive right and go all the way to the basket. However, the game is now getting close. Pass out to LaMarcus Aldridge there for an easy 2 points. He has 20 points, 9 for 12 shooting. And it's all about clock management right now. If we can just get our possessions, get our stops, and score maybe a couple of others. As you can see, they do a deadly switch there, but it's deadly for them. Batum, no good there. They switch to Scola. I have to pass on to Nicholas Batum, but Nicholas Batum has no problem knocking down that three. They call timeout, and that is going to be the game. It was a close game, but in the end, we were able to run away, and they made some switches down the game where it just didn't work. And we're going to win this game 96-87, and it's going to be 96 because Brandon Roy is going to put that nail in the dagger. 96-87, the final game of 2011 is a W, and we'll take those all day, especially against a team like Houston where we're trying to compete for the highest seeds in the West. But Batum is really starting to come into his own as far as being a second element for this team this season. I don't know what's happened to Brandon Roy, but clearly he's not playing the same way as he did last season. But, you know, LaMarcus has stepped up, Nicholas has stepped up, and I've even stepped up a couple times as well. Look at that layup off the glass. Another defensive stop right there, and he's just a sniper. A sniper from three. Another steal there for Nicholas Batum. 24 points, 3 assists, 7 rebounds, 2 blocks.
Congrats on getting a win in a really close game. How much does a game like that change the way you play in the closing moments, knowing that the outcome is hanging in the balance?
It doesn't change anything. Whether there's that sense of pressure hanging over things or not, it's our job to go out there and make plays. It could be early in the first quarter or a tie game with only a few seconds left. No matter what, you've always got a job to do, and nothing should stop you from doing it. It's part of being a team, and it's something I don't take lightly. And the rest of my team showed that they don't either by pulling out the win tonight. It was a huge performance to get the win here, man. Huge.